Hello and welcome to the Inbetween podcast. I'm user host Joe Squan. I'm joined here by Tony Tones at RT. How are you, Tony?
Hello, doing well.
This
Kind of
week,
a
I've just given this.
unseasonably warm September.
Yeah, it's actually pretty warm today. It got up to like what, mid 20s, something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Like for me, like it's still. I think it's this outside, but it's just like there's no movement of air, so it's just very warm inside. Very
mm.
humid, I think.
So I was mourning the loss of summer, and then it was like, I've still got one in me. I've got one more in me. I'm ready to
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
it just to me, like the first couple of weeks of September is the end of summer, so it's like I've always felt like that is the way it feels like. I know people like ready for autumn immediately. The trees are losing leaves. Some
Well,
trees are losing leaves, I
can
should
I give you
say.
some autumn knowledge?
Yeah.
So I have a bunch of fucking nieces, and apparently there's these toys with kids that are called jelly cats, and
Okay.
they do like seasonal jelly cats, right? So the jelly
Yeah.
cats come out in like winter and autumn, and
Yeah.
the Halloween jelly cats are already sold out now. They're already sold out
Right.
everywhere. But my mum was able to get one like from a garden center basically, and was like, "Oh, I'll put that aside for the kids." But yeah, I've unfortunately I know what jellycats and labubus are, unfortunately. So that's some
I
curse
mean, all these
knowledge.
words mean nothing to me, so
Don't you know what? Don't worry about it. Do not worry about
don't
it.
Google it.
No. Also, if you don't want to hear a man rant about anime for an hour, click off now because that's what this podcast is
Click
going to
off
be.
now.
That is what this podcast is
Yeah.
going to be about because we've had Hollow Knight Silk Song, and everyone else in the entire gaming industry is terrified to do anything while this game has been
Yeah.
released. So it's pretty much just that. But I have been watching a fuck ton of it. I've been watching a show, Tony, that I absolutely love, and a show that I
Yeah.
absolutely hate. So we got like a great like
Yeah.
mixture of stuff to talk about, and some weird stuff in between. Um, But let's get into what I've been playing because I think the only thing, legit, the only thing I've played is Overwatch 2 and the new DLC for Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Okay. All right.
But honestly,
I mean, it's still more than me.
most of the time spent, I have been playing just the base game again because I 100%ed the base game on the allegedly, hypothetically, on an emulator. So I didn't actually have a save
On
file.
your on your Switch One
On
clear
the
to your
Switch,
PC,
on the
100%.
early access Switch 2, yeah. So I was
Yeah,
like, oh
yeah,
shit, I
yeah.
don't actually have any save data. And basically, the way the DLC works for Kirby and the Forgotten Land was it's like remixes on levels, and I think there's like 2 levels per world, and you unlock the next levels by defeating the boss of that world. So I've had to I've just killed the final boss again, so I've gone through and done that section, which I don't remember it being like such a pain in the ass, the final boss, but I do remember it being like a fucking awful quick time event spam at the end, which I wasn't a big fan of.
Okay.
Um, but essentially, they're like remixes of levels. So like this is one of the early ones when you're in a shopping mall, and it's like normally you're down below in that area, but it's like you get to see what it's like if you were on the second level of this area. Like I think it's cool to be like, huh, because whenever you're going around the Kirby and the Forgotten Land levels, you're like, I wonder what it would be like to go in that direction, and then there's like an invisible wall that's stopping you from going over there, right? But yeah, most of the time
They haven't made the level there yet.
according to the Switch thing, I've played for 10 or more hours. My biggest issue was I was playing the game again, and I was like, I should just go through because I've already 100%ed the base game. And every time I was going through the levels again, I was like, well, I could 100% these levels. And I started like 100% at the game again. I'm like, no, it's going to take so long. I don't need to 100% the game again. I should just play through it, like just go through it quickly so I can play the Starcross World levels. And I've played a couple of them, but I haven't. I've beaten the game now, so I can go back and play all of them. But they're pretty cool. I don't know. I think there's 12 extra levels, and I think there's new transformation. So there's new upgrades for you to transform into, and I think there's new mouthful modes. Like immediately you get the spring mode, which lets you like bounce up and down. I thought that was really fun. Like for example, I wasn't a big fan of like the Snake Bonanza and DK Bonanza, where you're like a spring basically. But I thought the Kirby's a bit of a slower platformer, so actually doing more precise jumps actually works in Kirby. So I thought that was pretty good. But we'll do a tangerine on this at some point.
Yeah.
Because
You doesn't read on like the base game Switch One, right?
yeah, I said it was one of my favorite games I played in 2023. I think it was just like it was such a relaxing game to play. Like it's not particularly hard, Kirby.
Yeah.
They've been
I
pretty
just feel like the
safe.
concept. I think it's just like a neat idea. I think I don't know. Yeah.
I think they've been pretty safe
Cute
with
Kirby.
the Switch 2 titles so far because Donkey Kong Bonanza was fairly easy. The Kirby game is fairly easy.
Right.
Like they want to make sure it just like Mario Kart obviously has some of the best accessibility scaling in any game ever.
Yeah.
They've been like, okay, this is a console for all ages. We need to make sure everyone can play this sort of thing. So it's interesting. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. And also I wanted to mention I got a micro SD express card because I was legit running out of space on my Switch. I've decided to go like mostly full digital. I think Kirby is one of the few game carts I own for the Switch One. I got Super Mario Maker 2 and what was the other cart? Super Mario Party Jamboree, which also has a Switch 2 version, which I've played. And then I got Donkey Kong Bonanza on cart because it was cheaper to buy it that way than buying the digital version. But I think going forward, I'm probably going to be fully digital, unless there's like a specific really good deal where I can get it cheaper on cart. Because like it's just I got so like from being like a PC Steam gamer, I got so used to never having to change like carts or discs around and stuff like that. And they actually load a lot faster off cart as well. Especially if it's like a Switch One cart. Like a game came out recently. I think it was Star Wars. Is it Outlaws? Is that the Ubisoft one? Is it Star Wars Outlaws?
Yeah, that's how I think that was, yeah.
And they didn't put the full game on cart. They put it on a game key cart, which just basically contains a download key for you to download the full game.
Yeah.
And people were calling them out like, oh, they just cheaped out. They could have got a bigger one to have more space. And one of the Ubisoft employees replied and was like, actually, the reason we didn't put it on cart was because we use extensive NVMe streaming, and
streaming textures and things.
Like the micro SD Express interface actually uses NVMe interface or the PCIe interface in order to basically get the same speeds as like a portable SSD. So if you're using that or the internal storage, you actually get the way they load in assets. They need like a SSD level loading, and because I think like a micro SD Express card is about 800 megabit read and write, right? And then I think the carts, like the actual Switch carts, were more like 400. So they actually weren't fast enough for what they wanted to do with the game, which I find interesting. And we have seen it bore out with, in terms of loading times, it goes like internal storage, slightly behind is like micro SD Express, and then carts can be like 10 seconds behind or something like that. Like we have seen like it loads a lot faster, the digital versions. So I think the way, because I don't know if I told you this, Tony, because I was downloading it. When you like get a game on the Switch 2 or the Switch, it basically immediately downloads it. And I'm like, well, that's fair enough. I have it ready to go. But I legit looked at my storage the other day and it was like, you have, out of your 256 gigabytes, you have 20 gigabytes of storage left. And I was like, oh, damn, I'm going to need some more storage. And they just came back in stock. So I managed to get one from Smith's Toys, and I got the I think the SanDisk 200 the 500 gigabyte micro SD Express card, and given the fact
a lot of people are doing it for this now.
Yeah, I think they are going to get cheaper as they go along, so it might be worth waiting. But I kind of needed the space. Right, I guess I could uninstall stuff, but I plan to have a bigger digital library, and it would be nicer to have the stuff installed right away. You know.
Yeah, 100%. I think make it more like
There was a terabyte one,
Steam.
but the price didn't make sense, and I've heard mixed things about the performance of it. So I
Okay.
decided to go with like the 500 one. Because I think like
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
because the 500 one was like £90, and I think the 1 terabyte one was going for like maybe even like £200 or something like that. It was starting to get like really expensive. Because I just put like a fucking terabyte normal SD card in my Steam Deck when I got that, and I just filled that bitch full of ROMs, allegedly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
um,
I thought it was small games.
yeah, and then everything else that I needed like actual good loading speed from went onto the NVMe on the internals. So I think what I'm gonna do, because the Switch 2 has like an inbuilt system where you can move stuff between your micro SD Express and internal storage. And it seems like, especially Switch 2 titles, like Mario Kart World actually does have quite a bit of difference between like loading around the world and the initial load between internal storage and the micro SD Express. So I'm going to keep like everything I'm playing immediately on the internal storage. And then anything that I'm just like I moved like Catherine onto my full body edition onto my like micro SD Express because I'm like, I don't have any plans to play this right now, but it is still like 20 gigabytes or something, so I don't particularly want to re-download it. I'll just keep it in storage.
Yeah, so we're going to move,
and then I can just because it moves, because you're just moving it from like essentially an SSD to an SSD, so it moves pretty fast.
Yeah.
Or like the Hyrule Warrior games I have installed, like they're fucking massive. Like in terms of size. So I was like, I'll just put them on the micro SD Express and then move them across when I want to use them. But yeah. I think it's cool that Nintendo kind of put their foot down and were like, no, we're not gonna, even though some people were annoyed that you couldn't use the normal the micro SD cards. I think the speed would just be too slow to be usable.
Yeah.
I think it's good that they're pushing forward the micro SD Express format because I think it is genuinely a good way to get expansion storage on stuff like a Switch 2.
I can see something that doesn't matter, but yeah, it's just pretty hard to explain that to not even PC users, like not to like Steam Deck.
Like if you don't understand how fast a micro SD Express card is, it's essentially like a portable SSD, like this thing.
Yeah.
It'll be around that kind of speed.
Like a SATA.
Yeah. Like a SATA one, yeah. But even then, like games on PC aren't saturating PCIe 3 NVMe drives, right?
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think it's like maybe like just at the limit, or depending on what it's doing. Like, but yeah, I believe that's correct.
Like I have NVMe 3 drives, and I've never
been
able to be bottlenecked by them. So
no.
Until that becomes the case, I think that's fine.
I think there's CPU and just like protocol issues with like using it. So
yeah.
Although I mean, to be fair, it could also be that they're very well coded, knowing that's a problem.
Oh, I forgot to mention.
Out of all the bottlenecks, that'd be terrible.
I forgot to mention this about the Kirby DLC. There's gotcha machines in gacha. Yeah, there's new gacha machines for the DLC.
Gotcha. What's the gachapon?
It's gachapon, but I think they're called gotcha machines. If I remember correctly. Let me see. I'm trying to remember. Let's see what's in
I'm being told I can resubscribe to you 25% off. Isn't that still free?
I think you need to hit use Prime subscription and then it does Yes, it's the gotcha machine because ooh, yeah, baby.
That's what I've been waiting for.
Tones at RT, thank you for the 27 months. Currently on a 15-month streak. You've been missing your streak, Forgot some months.
Yeah, 27 months total. I guess I missed some from I don't know.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing. I'm guessing you haven't been playing many games because you've been very busy.
I will say this. I've played my first game of Warhammer on Tabletop Simulator.
Oh yeah, you did play. You've really got into Warhammer recently.
Yeah. This year's kind of in my year of Warhammer. Like I bought physical Warhammer now. Like I did that start of August. I bought that.
You should take some photos and then I can show it off.
I want to, yeah, I want to paint them though. Like I want to I just I need the space and get set up and just to do that. I'm kind of at the moment just I don't know if I've ever described this, but I'm not the sort of person that I think a lot of people and a lot of my other friend that who's also into Warhammer, they learn by doing. Obviously, I learn by doing, but I'm much better at being immersed into something first and then doing it. So I have more knowledge points I can pull from to try and solve problems. So I've been kind of in that mode of just absorbing painting knowledge.
Yeah.
So I've done it I've been doing it too much. I've been delaying it. I should have done it at least 2 months ago. What I was the knowledge I could recall and understand. So I should have been doing it a while ago. Just it's just. And summer's great. It's a great time to do it. I could technically do it outside, right? But yeah, I'm going to do it in autumn, I think. But no, that was fun though. Well, that's flipping ages.
Do you have a garage at your new place?
No, fortunately not.
Because that would be a good place to do any painting.
My plan is, I think I have to slightly change. I don't know. My plan was one of the rooms I'd have if I was gonna, I haven't got a 3D printer, but I'm gonna get a 3D printer, have an extraction thing there, so I can do gluing, painting, and resin fumes can be extracted easily.
Right. Okay.
Because all those things are bad for you.
I thought they were good for you. Well, maybe
Well, they smell good, yeah, but don't be fooled. Bad as gas. But no, yeah, that was really fun actually. I think I accidentally won the first game. It looked like I was about to lose, and then I happened to win, and then yeah, I think it did.
Did you watch that secret level thing with the Warhammer episode, didn't you?
Yeah. I've never actually watched that before.
Was it good? I couldn't watch it at the time because I was doing something else.
So this is minor spoilers, but it technically follows on a little bit from Titus's story after Space Marine 2.
After 2, okay, because I've played Space Marine 1. And I remember what happens. So because you've played Space Marine 2 at this point.
Yeah.
Does Space Marine 2 follow straight on from Space Marine 1 in terms of the story? Because you play both, right? You've played 1 and 2.
Yeah. In terms of following characters, yes. In terms of time, no. There's a big gap in between the two games. But it is carrying the same storyline effectively. You're following the same character. The main character with a couple of other new guys. This is always be 3. I don't know if that's common or if it's just for games. I'm not sure.
Don't know.
I thought Space Marines were in 10-man squads, but apparently not.
Not Ultramarines, they're too powerful.
I mean, they're just others. I mean, they're Gilliman Space Marines, but yeah, I guess they're the main character Space Marines. But
you seem to know a lot about the lore, whereas I just play the games and I'm like, oh, this guy's got a fucking big suit and a fucking big gun.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. No, I'm the sort of person I saw someone going back to the paintings that I was looking at. It's I saw someone oh, I'm just paying for vibes. And to me it's oh no, I need to know the laws, know what I'm even beginning with. The law makes the models way cooler to me.
Yeah.
I need that connection. So I've decided though, it's after Star Wars and Star Trek's kind of dead for me at this point. You know what? I actually went to Warhammer.
You got a new universe to get into.
Yeah, I needed something.
Because you love Lego, and we were like, why have they never made Star Trek Lego? That would go so hard. Yeah. And it's because they have a deal with fucking Playmobil, and it's just
an exclusive deal. Yeah.
Get on the Lego. That's what the people.
Where Star Wars is we have a Lego deal, we have someone else deal. They have loads of deals with everyone. I don't understand why Star Trek or Paramount don't do that. It's very weird.
But yeah,
maybe one day.
That's what you've been playing. You've been playing.
What
I was about to say, Star Warhammer.
Star Warhammer, the hit game.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I should add Star Wars and Star Trek to Warhammer. Maybe that's the answer. No, yeah, that's what I've really been doing, to be honest.
All right, but so I was watching the new episode of one of the new episodes now of Pantheon Stocking, and one of the entire start of the episode doesn't feature Pantheon Stocking for a long time. It follows this cop who is completely on fire, right? And I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, this is weird, but this is not like weird for Pantheon Stocking or Trigger. This is just something. But like he features in half the episode, and I was like, huh, that's weird that they just had like half the episode dedicated to this random like on fire police officer. But I guess it's Trigger. They just do weird stuff, right? Turns out
Yeah.
that's actually from another Trigger show that came out 10 years ago, like called or maybe even like 15 years ago at this point, called Inferno Cop. So
Never heard of it.
I'd never heard of it either. Like genuine, I'd never heard of
Okay.
Pantheon Stocking until
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I do not put it on here. But yeah, I was like, so it was a series that they made for YouTube, and it was you could watch the entire thing in like 30 minutes because each episode was like 2 or 3 minutes long.
So that must have been the same sort of time they were putting like all the Jackie Chan anime stuff on. Like the time that I talked about watching anime on YouTube. Like that's about that time.
So like right now, if you wanted to, you could watch the entirety of Inferno Cop on YouTube in like 30 minutes. And I would actually kind of recommend it. It is definitely of its time. There is some words in this where I was like, oh, this is aged kind of poorly. But that being said, Inferno Cop is fucking insane and I love it. Also, because I watched it on Crunchyroll. If you watch it on Crunchyroll, they have Inferno Cop fact files where they after every episode they have like a fact about the characters where they just make up the most insane shit about stuff that's going on. Like fact file: Mecha Cop has the CPU of a used Sega Saturn. And like just to say now, the plot of Inferno Cop does not make sense at all, and it's just completely just Trigger just making insane shit up. It's just like a comedy show about this cop who's there to defeat justice. I found it really funny. Like the way they animated this, it feels budgeted, but it also feels very stylized. Where it's essentially like, like on YouTube, you take like a JPEG image and you kind of rotate it on Photoshop as like, hello, I am talking like this. That's how they do the animation for this entire show. But they've like hand drawn every single character. And then but they're just using that style, which I found really interesting.
Yeah.
Also,
cool.
the OP for this show is in German for some reason. But if you translate it, it kind of doesn't make sense. It's like German Japanese. It's kind of like German nonsense.
Oh, okay. Like yeah, German words, but in like the Japanese made sense of it. But
so like the first episode, we have Inferno Cop, whose sole goal is to serve justice and defeat evil, right? And it starts off with a cop going to stop a crime, and the cop goes to stop the crime, and they're like harassing this woman, and they're like, and he goes up to them, he's like, hey, stop that. You don't even pay your taxes. And he's like, we do pay our taxes. This normal cop goes up and he's like, we do pay our taxes. He's like, oh, okay, I'm going to go off and illegally download some anime now. And he just walks off in the opposite direction. And then Inferno Cop races onto the screen, runs him over, he explodes. And he's like, hey, I'm here to deliver justice. But it's like there's these random cult leaders in it. Did you know the 3 cult leaders in Inferno Cop have a strong bond from going to game college together? You wouldn't know that if you hadn't watched the fact files of Inferno Cop.
Okay, interesting.
But yeah, I'm just like watching Pantheon Stocking is just Trigger going, hey, watch more of the Trigger cinematic universe. We're going to do more crossovers. Because apparently there's another show called... Oh, what's it? It's Space Cop Lulu or something like that. Let me have a look.
Space Cop.
No,
I know a Space Cop.
It'll be an ONA because I think it was only online. Also, did you know I didn't know this. Did you know Star Wars made like a bunch of anime? Like it's called Star Wars Visions, and they got like Science Saru to do an episode. They got Trigger to do an episode, and I'm like, that sounds kind of interesting. It's like I think it's like an anthology thing. Science
Okay,
Saru
yeah, that makes sense.
does Dan to Dan, and they did another show I
Right.
just watched, which is pretty interesting. Um,
That become interesting. I mean, I also like. I don't think Star Wars is as dead as Star Trek, so I'm gonna look into that.
let's have a look if I can find what I was. Space Patrol Luluco. This is what I was talking about. Yeah, and
Space
apparently
Patrol.
this is
Okay.
quite short as well. And I think this has a crossover with Inferno Coppers. Yeah, Inferno Coppers a crossover in this show as well. And I'm like, okay, maybe because this is another comedy by Trigger, so maybe I'll watch this as well because this is only 7 minutes per episode, and this was I think it's 13 episodes, so this is going to be a really short as well. It's only going to be what, an hour and a half to watch the entire thing. So yeah, that sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've watched the entirety of Inferno Cop, and I kind of recommend others to do the same. It was not a waste of time. There was some pretty funny moments in it, especially if you like Trigger like me. But yeah, Tony. Next, I want to talk. So previous weeks, I spoke about I've been watching Vinland Saga, and I watched season
Yeah.
1, and I said like it was kind of hard to get into at first. Vinland Saga season 1, I thought it was pretty decent. Vinland Saga season 1, there was some good like world building and characters and development, right? But I was like, this is a show I like, right? I like Vinland Saga
You're
season 1.
comparing it to like Game of Thrones, where it took a while for you to actually understand what the hell was going on.
Yeah, Tony, Vinland Saga season 2 is a fucking masterpiece. I love Vinland Saga season 2. I can't think of a show where the quality from season 1 to season 2 is just like it's almost on a completely different level. Like
Okay,
season 2 is just there's tons of interesting characters, great storylines, great messages. Like everyone has something to do. The art, like they switch from this. I was worried about them switching from wit animation to Mappa, but Mappa's just shown that they can do insane animation themselves. Like Mappa does like Chainsaw Man. They do Jujutsu Kaisen. Like they know like shonen stuff, but they can also do like Terror in Tokyo, for example, or like I think don't they do like do they do Space Dandy? Like they or like Kids on the Slope. They've done some like weirder shows, Mappa.
Yeah.
But like holy shit, Tony, like I can't really go into the plot of Vinland Saga 2 without spoiling a lot of season 1. Because it's like season 2 almost starts from a completely different point. It almost feels like a completely different show. Where season 1 at points feels like a shonen show, season 2 feels like almost at points like a slice of life at some points. It is like it's much slower paced, but it is so much more thoughtful. And like every character is interesting, has screen time, and there'll be characters, Tony, you'll meet and you'll be like, I don't know about this character, but by the end of the show, you may not grow to like them, but you will understand them. And you will understand their actions.
Yeah,
Vinland Saga season 2 is insanely good, and I think
Did you say that there's a big gap between the two seasons, right?
I think it's like it was a gap of like 4 years or something.
4 years, yeah.
Because when I was watching Vinland Saga, I was like, okay, it's a 2-season show, like season 1 and season 2, and then it's done. Apparently, that's not the case. Because I finished season 2, and I was like, oh, okay, because season 2 kind of wraps things up in a bow, and I was like, okay, they can end it here without getting into spoilers. I think it's a good place to leave it. But apparently, the manga just finished. There is more Vinland Saga they can adapt, and basically, the production company, Twin Studios, right? Twin Engine, sorry, is saying basically like
the motorbikes,
yeah, because that's what really confused me. It was like the motorbikes and it says like Wit Studios, and then season 2 was like Mappa, and I'm like, wait, these aren't the same companies. Basically, season 2 of Vinland Saga is so popular that Twin Engine is like, we are not making another season without Mappa making it and giving it all their time and direction. And Mappa is one of the busiest fucking anime studios working right now. They literally make some of the biggest shows and are constantly making stuff. So yeah, I think we're probably not going to see a Vinland Saga season 3 until maybe like past 2026 even, because like literally
Yeah,
the
that makes
Chainsaw
sense.
Man film like just came out or is just about to come
Yeah,
out sort of thing, which I'm really excited to watch. Yeah, also I watched the dub of Vinland Saga and I thought the Netflix dub was really good, because if you're going to watch Vinland Saga, there exists 3 versions of Vinland Saga. There is the sub, the Crunchyroll dub, which I believe is called the Sentai dub, and there's the Netflix dub. And the main difference between the two is the two dubs is the Crunchyroll dub uses more like Nordic names, so like Thorfinn in the Netflix dub would be Thorfinn, for example, more like a Nordic pronunciation, right?
yeah.
And I did like before I watched it, I listened to a little bit of the Netflix dub and the Crunchyroll dub, and I just thought the Netflix dub had a lot more punch to it, and I think it was better recorded overall. Like it felt like a better dub, and I think the Crunchyroll dub might actually change some actors. Crunchyroll loves fucking doing this, where they just like randomly change voice actors in between seasons, and it seems to be to do with the fact of what's it called? I'm forgetting the name of it now. When a bunch of workers unions,
Union? Yeah.
yes, and also they want to use like in-house studios. So a lot of voice actors are in LA, and I think Crunchyroll likes to use people in Texas, for example. I believe.
Right,
So
okay.
some people don't want to move around, so sometimes people get recast a lot in the dub and stuff like that, which is kind of annoying.
Just crazy. I don't know,
Um,
lack of respect in a way for the. Like, you wouldn't do that with an actor as he.
Hello, is it me or you, Tony?
Oh, hello?
Oh, you just cut out. I wasn't sure if it was you or me.
Oh, sorry. No, just saying like it's a shame that like you wouldn't switch someone out like a normal actor, right? Like it'd be harder. I know there's a visual side to that as well, but I just thought you should have the same sort of respect.
Hmm. But I think like without going into spoilers, I think what makes season 2 of Vinland Saga is so impactful and so good. Like I find it so interesting. I could see like a kid watching Vinland Saga season 1 and be like, "This is awesome," and then watching Vinland Saga season 2, not getting it and be like, "This is so boring. Why are they doing this?" Vinland Saga season 1 is about like being faced with the reality of war and becoming a warrior. Season 2 of Vinland Saga is about like realizing that violence and war just destroys everything, and it
The
basically, yeah, the
consequences.
consequences of like the
Yeah.
consequences of violence is
Yeah,
Vinland Saga
yeah.
season 2. And like one of the main quotes of Thor's, which I think is one of the he's almost like this. Thor's is like this overbearing character over the entirety of Vinland Saga, where he's just like his words and his message mean so much to all the characters, right? Is his words of "I have no enemies" is so impactful to be like, you've literally met these people for the first time ever, and you're going to kill them. You don't
Yeah.
have any enemies, not a single one. No one deserves to have violence put upon them. Is like when you get to like the end of Vinland Saga season 2 and you're just like, "Oh my god, I get it now." Like it's such like an impactful moment. But I think you kind of need to go through the acts of season 1 of Vinland Saga and see like Thorfinn's story and the man that he's forced to become in order to see like
Okay.
how
You need
he learns more
the
about
whole
the
timeline.
world in Vinland Saga season
Yeah.
2. But yeah,
Okay.
genuinely, Vinland Saga season 2, one of my favorite animes of all time. This show is fucking phenomenal, and I'm glad I watched it. So, Tony, you know how I normally act on these. Watch when I catch up to a show, anime season. I'm like, I'm going to watch one for me and one for them. So Vinland Saga, incredibly highly rated. It was one for them.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I don't quite understand this, but yeah,
one for
I
me.
know
I
this
like
is
to
a thing.
watch dog shit romance anime. And I was like, you know what? Let me watch Rent a Girlfriend. Okay, let's get into this. Okay. Rent a Girlfriend. Every time I see people discussing this on Reddit, it is in a thread with 0 upvotes and 100 comments of people talking about how much they hate this show, but they're still watching it. And I was like, what the hell is going on in this show? Like, why are so many people hating this show but are glued to it? And I watched 4 seasons of Rent a Girlfriend, so I'm currently up to date with, I think we're on episode 10 because it's currently airing in the summer anime season. And I gotta say, so I've watched like 46 episodes in like 2 days, Tony, and I gotta say, I get it now. This show
I still don't get it, but yeah,
sucks. And I can't look away. It's like watching NASCAR. You're like rubbernecking, just waiting for someone to crash.
You know, and it's bad, but you want to keep
it. Is the most beautiful dumpster fire you have ever seen. You cannot look away from the flames. Everyone in this fucking show absolutely sucks. I went from watching one of the best shows with some of the best characters in anime to this absolute garbage. Let's describe the plot of Rent a Girlfriend. So we have our main character, Kazuya. Now, Tony, I want to point out we have college students. These are not. It is actually a romance anime. They're not children for once.
Yeah.
If that means anything.
I mean, it's still school related, I guess. It's still.
He goes to college, yeah. But so we have Kazuya, and Kazuya's an absolute fucking loser. I think is a safe way to say it. He had a girlfriend for a month, but he couldn't really. They never really connected. She broke up with. He got dumped by him. He gets really sad by this. So in order to get over it, he decides to rent a girlfriend. So there's a service in Japan where you can like pay for a girl to pretend to be your girlfriend for like a certain amount of time, and you'll go out on like a fake date. You'll go for dinner. You'll eat some food. You'll go to the amusement park or whatever. You go on a fake date.
I'm not sure what that accomplishes.
Companionship. I think it is like there's legit like a loneliness epidemic going on right now, right? So I can. I can kind of understand it.
If it's like a temporary thing to go, oh, okay, I now like sort of understand like who I'm going to try and find, like fine. But if I would always feel like surely that would just like trick them into thinking they have companionship when they don't.
Yeah, but it's like, what else could they do to cope, right?
Yeah, sure. If it's such an important thing that you can't find another way, then
but anyway,
yeah, sure.
So he gets this rental girlfriend, and he goes on a date with her. He has a wonderful time. We have Chizuru, which I just want to point out right now. Every time I log on to Crunchyroll, I see Chizuru's face because my brother's profile picture on Crunchyroll is Chizuru. And every time I see Chizuru now, I'm like, Daniel, is that you? Because I've seen his face every single time I log on. My profile picture is your Forger from Spy X Family. So I wonder if he looks at your Forger now and he's like, Joe, is that you? It's true though.
Yeah, it's strange how a face association works.
You see someone's profile picture enough on like Discord or Steam or whatever, and you start to associate that with the person, right?
100%, 100%. Yeah.
But yeah, so we have Chizuru. He goes on a date with Chizuru, and he's like, "This woman is incredible. I love her." And then he reads the reviews, and he's like, "Wait a minute, she's putting on an act. She does this with everyone. We held hands. We went to an aquarium." And, you know, we had a wonderful time, and she's doing this with other men. I can't believe
this. It's a renting service?
Yeah. What? So he decides to book another date with her, and he basically goes on this date, and he starts shouting. He's like, I can't believe it. You're a rent-a-girlfriend. I didn't know I was signing up to the service where you would pretend to be my girlfriend. And he basically has a go at her. She gets really pissed off. She starts to like show her true self, and she's like, listen, you fucking booked and paid for me. What did you expect, you fucking idiot?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I guess it's over. And she's like, well, technically you still have time. And I am, you know, if you want to pay to shout at me, that's fine. But I'm just here to be rented out, basically. And he's like, oh no, I have to go to the hospital. My grandma's fallen ill. And she decides to go with him. So she gets introduced to his grandma as his girlfriend. And this is where our trouble fucking begins. Because guess what, Tony? The rent-a-girlfriend's classic rom-com scenarios where the absolute unbelievable thing that would never happen happens.
Yeah.
The rent-a-girlfriend's grandma is also in the hospital, and she sees them together, so she thinks they're also dating. And he has to keep up this lie that he's dating this rent-a-girlfriend.
It's impossible for them to just break up. That never happened.
So he basically has to keep paying her for dates, even though he kind of doesn't like her because he thinks that she's just, being fake. And she's like, oh, you're kind of a scumbag, and you basically, you've tricked my grandma to thinking we're dating, but my grandma was so happy, I can't tell her the truth, because he had a girlfriend, he never got to introduce her to his grandma, and his family is so happy that he's found this wonderful girl, he can't break his grandma's heart. So they start like fake dating, and he's spending I looked it up, at one point he spent like £90 on this, like for one date, and I'm just like I was like translating the amount of yen he was spending, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, this guy's spending a lot of money, because he has all these every episode he goes through these like savings of trying to, and he's like, I'm going through my savings. This motherfucker gets a part-time job to pay for his rent-a-girlfriend. I swear to God, his paycheck goes towards it. So what happens is his college friends find out that he has a quote-unquote girlfriend, his fake girlfriend, his rent-a-girlfriend, right? But what turns out is this girl that not only now knows his grandmother and her grandmother, so they have to kind of stick together, she goes to the same college as him, and the people at the college don't know she's a rent-a-girlfriend, but when she's at college, she wears glasses, and she keeps her head down. Not only that, she's also the next-door neighbor to this guy. So they literally live next to each other. Okay? So...
I mean, most likely thing to happen, yeah.
So he basically starts going on dates with his friends there, and he's still he was friends with his ex-girlfriend through the friendship group, so his ex-girlfriend learns about the fact that he has a quote-unquote girlfriend, so he has his rent-a-girlfriend. She immediately is like, I don't like that he's moved on. I'm going to try and break up him and his rent-a-girlfriend, not knowing that she's a rent-a-girlfriend. So she's trying to get with him now, his ex-girlfriend, and she's like, and he basically tells the rent-a-girlfriend, she's like, that's great. I'll just keep pretending to be your fake girlfriend until you get a real girlfriend, and then we can tell your grandma we broke up, and then you can introduce her to your real girlfriend. Okay. Now, introducing more trouble, Tony. His friend asks them to go on a double date because he randomly got a girlfriend. They go on a double date, and the girl he's dating singles out Chizuru, and he's like, you're a rent-a-girlfriend, aren't you? And she's like, how the fuck did you know? And she says, because I'm also a rent-a-girlfriend. So Ruka enters the picture, and Ruka immediately is about to oust them, and okay, this is something I want to point out. Our main character fucking sucks. He keeps stalking women constantly, and he's like, I have to follow Ruka home and make sure she doesn't reveal the fact to my friend who knows mommy, my other friend who knows my grandma, the fact that I'm using a rent-a-girlfriend because it would break my grandma's heart, and she can't take it, right? He follows her home, rom-com hijinks, they fall down some stairs, her heart starts beating super fast, and she's like, oh my God, I have this condition where my heart never races, but you're the only person who's ever made my heart race. I'm now in love with you for no reason. So the rent-a-girlfriend that's dating his friend is now fallen in love with him. And I don't know if you've actually heard of this phenomenon. I think it's called the rope bridge phenomenon or something. This is actual real rope bridge phenomenon. Suspension, the misattribution of arousal from suspension bridge. So if you ever stood on a suspension bridge, a lot of people like to propose or have romantic moments with people on a suspension bridge. it's an actual
'Cause they're
psychological
fearful
thing.
because they're fearing something
People
else.
actually like elevated heart rate at the fear of falling off a bridge is actually a lot of the time misrepresented as attraction. It's like a real thing that happens to people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This I don't believe. This is fucking high. But basically, she's like, I have to
Yeah.
be with you, and he's basically asking his renter girlfriend, "Hey, what do I do?" And this girl is like crying because he's like, "I can't. Look, I just met you. I don't want to date you." And his renter girlfriend is like, "This is great. You should date this girl on a trial basis." So now his ex girlfriend's trying to get with him. His renter girlfriend he's starting to fall in love with, and he has a real girlfriend or a trial real girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tony, oh God, explaining renter girlfriend to someone who's never seen it. This is where it gets so fucking messy. So his real girlfriend is trying to actually date him, but he keeps spending all of his money going on fake dates with his renter girlfriend. And his real girlfriend is like, please go on a date with me, to a point where she starts working at the same place as him. And she tells the manager to dock his pay so he has less money to spend on his renter girlfriend and more money to spend on her. And I think the insane thing about like renter girlfriend is I've watched like 4 seasons, 46 episodes of this. And it's clear the show wants us to be like, look at the romance between the renter girlfriend and our fucking loser guy, right? Chizuru.
Yeah.
Not Kazuya. You could watch season 1, episode 1 of Rent a Girlfriend, and you could watch season 4, episode 46 of Rent a Girlfriend, and you would have the exact same amount of romantic progress between the Rent a Girlfriend and our main character. Everything happens in this show, and nothing happens in this show at the same time. It is so fucking frustrating.
Just fake progress.
Yes.
Or things happen but no progress. That's probably a better way to say that.
Like his real girlfriend kisses him and he's like, oh no, what do I do? She's kissing me. I didn't want her to do this. She's spending the night with him because, of course, there's a plot device tier 5 Masoon that comes when she's at his apartment. She's like, I'm basically ready to go all the way. And he's like, no, I can't. What would my renter girlfriend think if I, spent the night with my real girlfriend?
Why did he care?
And I'm watching this and I'm like, bro, this is a anime about cuckoldry. That's literally what this show is about. Because this guy's got red hair, and I'm like, this is literally Brief from Panty and Stocking. This is literally him. Oh my God. And I was like, wait a minute. This is like an anime for cucks. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm watching Rent a Girlfriend. What the hell? And I had this realization. I'm like, I'm watching this. I was like, what the fuck?
Your description of it didn't make me want to watch this.
We also get the introduction of fucking Sumi, who is like a new girl at the Rent a Girlfriend agency, and the Chizuru, the Rent a Girlfriend, asks Kazuya to go on like practice dates with her because she's so shy she can't talk to anyone, and he's really nice to her, so she starts slowly falling in love with this guy. I think the issue I have with this show is not only is it the glacial pace of any romantic progress in a fucking romance show, is that every character in this show fucking sucks. Like Chizuru, the Rent a Girlfriend, spends the entire fucking show leading Kazuo on while clearly fucking being in love with this guy, and then immediately being like, hold on, we have a Rent a Girlfriend renter policy, we can't be doing this, even though I live next to you and I come over to your apartment and we have these extracurricular relationships outside of the agreement, but suddenly now I've decided I can't do this with you. And she's constantly like, so have you broken up with your real girlfriend yet? Or she's like, so things going good with your real girlfriend constantly? And he's like, yeah, I still don't want to make her my real girlfriend. He tries to break up with Ruka, and Ruka's like, no, I won't let you break up with me. And she stalks him to his apartment. And then she's basically fucking... So this woman ults, Mummy is ulting. this woman doesn't all. I mean, Sumi's fine. Sumi's basically one of the blameless characters. She's just honestly trying to do her job, and she's just kind of getting roped into this absolute dumpster fire. But like, if you wanted to watch this show, I'll give you some fucking spoilers because nothing fucking happens in this show, so it doesn't fucking matter. But at some point, I was like, Ruka's actually kind of blameless, even though she's randomly in love with this guy for no reason. She's in love with this guy, and he's spending all of his money and time with a different girl who he's completely in love with, who cannot love him back. So it's just like, what's the fucking point? I'm like, bro, break up with your actual girlfriend, and then ask the fucking rent-a-girlfriend out, and if she says no, move on with your fucking life, right?
Yep.
But then Ruka's like, she goes up to fucking Chizuru. She hands her a broken condom. She's like, look, we had sex. Get away from my real boyfriend. So she completely gaslights and lies to Chizuru to try and like completely break up their relationship. So Ruka is absolutely being toxic. Chizuru's fucking toxic. Kazuyu fucking sucks. He's completely toxic. Mummy is incredibly toxic because she's basically trying to break up his relationship with his fake girlfriend and try and get back with him. And she's also stalking his grandma for some reason. She becomes friends with his grandma for some reason. I don't
Right.
But she,
that's a good
like,
one.
every fucking... I watched 4 seasons of this absolute garbage. And I tell you what, the end of every episode, I was like, I have to watch the next one. I can't stop watching Rent-a-Girlfriend. It's self-harm at this point. But I just have to see where it is going. Even though every time they play the slow music, that looks like they're about to make some progress, I just literally, I will say, this is bait. Nothing is going to happen. But I have to see it through. I'm like... This is a show, Tony, about sunken cost fallacy, where Kazuya has sunken cost into Chizuru because he spent literal thousands of pounds on this woman and he can't give up on her. And I have sunken cost I've watched 46 episodes of this shit and I have to see where it's going. Like, oh my, like the whiplash from watching Vinland Saga to this. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't quite understand. I don't know. I think just just accept the loss, I think, would be my recommendation.
I'm currently watching season 4. So for summer season, it's like Tony, but it's the phenomenon. It's not just me, bro. Like, look.
No.
So look at this, Tony. This show has a rating of 6.8, which is kind of shit. Like something below a 7 on my anime list is kind of bad. Yeah. But it has 1,000 members on the show. Like season 4 is not as many, right? But it's still 71,000 people who are watching this. Like, yeah. And it's the same for the manga as well. Like the manga has like so many people reading it, and I'm reading like the fucking discussion threads, right, about the show, because I'm like, it's like discussion threads of Rent-a-Girlfriend are like group therapy for other people experiencing this fucking PTSD, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like everyone is like, oh man, there's been glacial pace between the main girl and our hero, quote unquote, arc, like the actual protagonist of the show, which everyone fucking hates.
The anti-hero?
I guess, yeah. Our MC, as they call it, the main character. And somebody's like, man, I wonder if there's going to be some actual progress. And there's like, hey, manga reader here, get ready for another 100 chapters of absolutely nothing fucking happening because it's Rent-a-Girlfriend. And it's just like, oh my God. So Tony, I want to finish season 4 at least. Maybe I'll stop at season 5, but I know I won't. I will watch season 5 if they make it. I will self-harm, I swear to God. And apparently we're on the arc of they're all, for rom-com reasons, he's gone on holiday to a Hawaiian beach, like pool resort with his entire family and all of his fake/real girlfriends. And apparently, at every single discussion thread, people are saying, I can't believe they're about to animate that scene. There's about to be a huge bomb, and they're like, kind of actual progress. Something is going to happen in Rent-a-Girlfriend. And apparently it is one of the most decisive things that ever happens in this show. And for that reason, I'm going to watch Rent-a-Girlfriend. But let me tell you now, if you ask me, should I watch Rent-a-Girlfriend? If you're insane like me, it's like a rite of passage for like weird
Right.
rom-com romances, but it's an absolute dumpster fire of a show, and I would not recommend it to a sane person to watch this.
You what was one about this like the other day? You were comparing it like to another rom-com they actually like discuss and talked about stuff. Which was that?
So one of the best shows this season is the Fragrant Flowers Bloom with Dignity.
Right.
And this, of course, it is because it's so. If you want to watch good romance animes, watch anything made by Cloverworks because they actually understand how to make romance anime. You have
Right.
shows like Spy X Family, Rascal Dreams of Bunny Girl Senpai, Horimiya, Dress Up Darling. Okay. Like they do a lot of good romance stuff, right? Also, oh my god, I was watching the new episode of Dress Up Darling. Oh my god, clears this fucking Rent-A-Girlfriend. Like, absolute, probably the worst romance anime of the season. I was watching Watari-kun is about to collapse, and I was literally watching it a couple of nights ago as the new episode was airing, Tony. I was like, wait a minute, Watari-kun about to collapse is kind of Rent-A-Girlfriend again. Oh no, it's happening again. Like, that show is like, they have super toxic fucking characters and the most dense fucking main character in anime since fucking Kazuya. I was like, oh no, they're doing it again. Like, I love I'm Getting Married to the Girl I Hate in My Class. That's a really fun show. It's not a good show. It's kind of trash, but it's fun. Or like this season, like a bouquet of flowers for an ugly girl. This show's not brilliant, but it's fun. Oh, yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Those make more sense to me as a cozy one, or no, but just watching trash.
This is like Haru no I was about to say Haru no Koi, the fucking train video. Karu Hana Warin Tsusaru, the fragrant flower as I call it, wipes this romance is so fucking good. Dress Up Darling wipes the floor with Tony. I haven't talked about Dan to Dan. The romance in Dan to Dan is so fucking good. It is
the subsection of a series.
Sorry, I don't know if I've told you this anecdote before. The writer of Dan to Dan wrote Dan to Dan, and he put some late romance into it. And his like head producer read it, and he was like, "Oh, the romance of this is awful. Read 300 romance mangas and write this again." And he did it. And the romance in a shonen, horror, sci-fi, fucking action, fucking everything, slice of life, romance, comedy, everything fucking, like, Dan to Dan is fucking every genre. It's fucking incredible. Show is better than almost all romance anime airing right now. Like, I was like, I can't believe they showed that hand-holding scene in Dan to Dan. That was so intimate. I can't believe that was crazy. And then you have fucking Rent-A-Girlfriend. But the point I want to get to, Tony, you're watching a bad rom-com when there becomes a scenario where it's like the main character and the love interest are at odds with each other, and the entire situation could be resolved by one character having one conversation with another character.
Just a sensible conversation.
Which is like the entire plot of Rent-A-Girlfriend could be solved with one character having one conversation with one character. And it's like, in The Fragrant Flowers Bloom with Dignity. Like, this guy is lying to all of his friends. He's lying to his entire family. He's lying to his fake girlfriend. He's lying to his real girlfriend. He's lying to himself. This guy fucking sucks. He's an absolute toxic asshole, and I have no sympathy for him. But The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, there's basically it's a Romeo and Juliet story. There's two characters from opposing schools that hate each other, and they want to, see each other. And basically, he's like, Rintaro is like, man, I want to see this girl, but I might end up having to lie to my friends. And he's like, no, wait a minute. That's fucking stupid. I trust these people. They're my friends. I should have a conversation with them. And there's an entire episode about Rintaro talking to his friends and trusting them. There's an entire episode about fucking Karako talking to her friends and trusting them and having real relationships with them.
Yeah, they have the core I guess problem, but then they have a realization that actually it's a stupid one. I can
This
solve it
is
easily.
a really good show that treats its characters with respect. Rent-A-Girlfriend treats its characters like garbage and treats its fans with no respect, if you could call them that.
It does remind me of the Mission Web sketch of like how do hate watchers show up on the demographics.
All I gotta say now is, I know my brother's watching this show, and I gotta find out if he likes this show, because this is gonna change my entire opinion of my brother. If finding out if he genuinely enjoys watching this show, because I'm gonna fucking lose it. I don't know what the.
I mean, he has a profile picture of one of the characters. Surely he at least likes the character. Like, which character does he have?
Chizuru, the main Rent-A-Girlfriend.
The main, really?
Yes. I could understand maybe Ruka if she didn't ult. Like, Sumi is innocent.
Yeah.
Minnie Yaimori is fine. She's basically the new audience insert character. Basically, Yaimori in season 4 is the audience insert character because she's literally there to make like references to anime, like streaming, and push the plot forward. She's literally like, you're in love with this girl, you should go and talk to her. She is the plot device character, which is why people like her.
Right.
But yeah, bro, like, literally watch Fragrant Flower. Oh, Tony, so you know how like this show has been in Netflix jail for the longest time? It came out yesterday on Netflix, and on like Japanese television in the high seas, we're on episode 10, and they're like, no, we're not releasing this until the fucking 7th of September, like fucking months behind the actual release of the show.
Yeah.
And what do? They don't like dub it all and then release it. They're like, no, we're releasing the first 2 episodes, and then it's going to be released weekly from this point. Like, Netflix's anime strategy is so fucking straight. Like, they have the money to buy the big shows. They do really good jobs at dubbing stuff. They do really good jobs at like subbing stuff and getting stuff out on time. They're a good content releasing machine. But like when it comes to stuff, sometimes they're just like, they like throw a random dartboard and like, this show will release 2 months later, episodically.
This show will release like, it's really dumb.
1 week behind.
It must be a deliberate strategy.
No, I think it's because like they don't give a shit about like the dedicated anime watchers, like the weebs or the hackers, right? Who are like,
they're trying to get the general audience.
Like, the most popular shows on anime Netflix right now are Demon Slayer, which has a massive global audience, and reruns of Naruto, which I find insane as someone who was watching Naruto 15 plus years ago, that kids today still want to watch Naruto for some reason.
Yeah, I find that really interesting. It's like multi-generational.
Yeah. But yeah, they're just like it. Like the global audience is so much more important to Netflix than like the people who are like dedicated watching this week by week. It probably, from a business standpoint, makes more sense to just release it when they have like a dub ready to go immediately. Sort of thing.
Yeah, because I guess it makes sense that they've just released what they think the general audience the general audience would want to watch it, or it fits in with their schedule, and they completely ignore the dedicated anime fans because they're going to use something like Crunchyroll instead.
But it's so confusing, Tony, because like,
bother about it.
Like the other huge show of the season is The Summer Hikaru Died, which has better. The Summer Hikaru Dies has better fucking romance than Rent-A-Girlfriend, and it's like a fucking gay horror analogy. It's a really interesting show. Like, but yeah, like, but they release that show weekly as it comes out, subbed.
Yeah, okay. That makes,
But the Fragrant Flower Blooms of Dignity, nah, fuck this show.
Maybe.
Sakamoto Days. By the way, Sakamoto Days Season 2. Big step up from Season 1. Really good comedy shonen show. Really good show, right? We're going to release it 1 week behind for some... We're going to simul-dub it. 1 week behind. If you want to watch with the subtitles,
if someone finds out, if you're just a general audience Netflix watcher, but you're still connected to the internet, actually, if you find out like this thing is like, oh, you can watch almost all of it right now. Like, I know you just watched the first few episodes on Netflix, but you could watch a different dub somewhere else. Like, would you not just take that?
Yeah, but I think most people just turn on Netflix and they watch what's on Netflix. I mean, that's how I kind of started. Was I just turned on Netflix and I was like, oh, I'll just
Sure.
watch Cowboy Bebop on Netflix. I've been wanting to watch the show for a
Right.
while, and then I was like, what other stuff is on Netflix? And that's how I got started.
Right.
Like,
Okay. That you didn't think to look elsewhere.
let's talk about what else I've been, because literally, Tony, I'd finished watching Vinland Saga. I got absolutely triggered by Rent a Girlfriend, and I was like, what should I watch? I was browsing Netflix. I just got done watching something on Netflix. I can't remember what it was, but it's like Tongue and Anki or some shit, right? And I was like, I've been wanting to watch Devilman Cry. It's a Netflix like co-produced thing, I think. Let me watch episode 1 of Devilman Crybaby completely blind without looking anything up on it, other than I know I love the soundtrack to this show because I've been recommended it on YouTube. It's the soundtrack. It's Kensuke Ushayo, who does an absolutely amazing soundtrack. And Tony, so I'll talk about this next week because I haven't finished it. I've watched episode 1, and I gotta say, what the absolute fuck is going on in this show? Like, that was what the fuck? This show goes from 1 to 100 immediately. This show alts immediately, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? And I'm like, who made this show? And I'm like, because the animation style, I think the nicest way to call it is unique. Some people might think it's ugly. Some people may think it's a masterpiece. It's like all over the place. It's very interesting, the animation style. And it's like weird, grotesque horror at some points, but it's also like very like trippy, druggy at the same time. And I'm like, what is going on in this show? And I'm like, who made this? And I'm like, oh, it's Science Saru, the guys who do Dan. I'm like, that kind of makes sense. Like, Science Saru loves doing weird shit. And Devilman Crybaby, so far, episode 1, is some weird fucking shit. And I'm gonna watch more of it because I'm intrigued to see where this goes. But I just randomly put this on one night before bed, and I was like, I'm going to sleep. Like, I don't know what that was.
Okay. You're going to continue.
I will continue it. I thought it was intriguing enough to see what the fuck was going on. But yeah, what the helly?
What the hell?
What the helly? Oh, Tony, in the English dub for the new episode of Panty and Stocking, the Gen Z Angel said poggers, and I was like, I couldn't believe.
No.
We've got what the helly?
Oh,
Chat, is this cooked?
I think
we've got poggers, the Twitch emote.
Yeah, that. Oh man, that's too real. The other one I'm just.
I do find it really funny that the vernacular of the next generation of kids is based mostly on words from anime like aura. This guy's aura farming, or like words from Twitch like cap and chat. And stuff like this cooked, or like Twitch means like poggers and pog and stuff like. I'm just like, bro.
Stream culture.
But yeah,
it's crazy.
Interesting. But yeah, Tony, that's my hour rant about Rent a Girlfriend and why nobody sane should ever watch it, and why I think you should just watch Vinland Saga instead because you'll have a much better time.
I have put Vinland Saga. I've probably created a list on my phone for anime now.
Yeah, because you liked the idea. Because again, I see like there's a lot of correlation between Vinland Saga and Orb, Movements on the Earth, and I think you would love Orb as well. Because Orb is another show that like respects its characters, has really interesting characters, is about like the brutality of life and how it can get you down, but also the power of like ideas and values. Like, it's a really interesting engine to tell a story.
And I think when you just from season 1 of Vinland Saga, it was like the Vikings live action TV show, I think.
Yeah, because I looked this up after the fact, just to go back on Vinland Saga quick, because it's a much better show than some of the shit I've been talking about. I was like, man, like one of my favorite characters from season 1 was Thorkel the Tall, who basically was like a Viking who was he basically joined the English because he was so bored of winning fights, he wanted to join the English and have a harder fight against like the Danish Vikings. And I was like, there's no way there was an actual person called Thorkel the Tall that joined the English, and I looked it up and I'm like, no, he was a real person. Like I'm learning about real history through this. I'm like, sure, a lot of it is like cinematized and character and stuff is changed.
But Vikings
but some of the events are like
stuff.
actually true to some of the stuff that may or may not have happened. You know?
Yeah.
Which I do find kind of it like there was like they talk about Prince Harold and Prince Canute, and these are like real people, and like the actual events of Vinland Saga like actually happened, and like I'm learning because like when we learn about Vikings in English history, we will learn about it from the English side where we're like, hey, there was these nasty Vikings who came along and they basically killed a bunch of monks who just wanted to practice Christianity. You know,
it's very like tangential. It's like but like the most you really get into it, and even then it's like not very much. It's like
but like Vinland Saga goes
1066
into like
famously King Harold attacked Vikings first, then went to attack Normans. Like there's really not much Viking stuff at all, other than like here there are boats they use.
Vinland Saga goes into the really interesting politics of what was going on.
Yeah, like historical politics. Yeah, I think we need more of an actual history lessons.
But yeah, I was surprised to know how much of Vinland, other than like people leaping from boats with 50 arrows in them and being like, huh, not even a scratch. I feel like that, like the actual mysticism of like the early Vinland Saga gets toned down, and I kind of wonder if that was because like season 1 of Vinland Saga we're seeing warriors from the eyes of a child, and then season 2 of Vinland Saga we're seeing warriors from the eyes of a man, and he kind of understands more about the world, where like these people when he's a child seem like unkillable monsters, but then season 2 he's like, no, these are human beings, and the kind of like the growing up aspect of that
could like exaggerate it in his mind how many arrows actually like hit the shield and stuff.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I think that actually kind of cool if that was true.
But yeah, let's move on to trailers, and then we should be finishing up with releases. There was quite a big release this week. I can't remember what it was called, but
yeah.
AD fucking Blitzcrank is being added to 2KO. What's it called? 2XKO. Sorry, I just forget the name of this tag team fighting game from Riot because it's so awful. Literally, it's insane that this used to be called Project L. Like Project Loser, and it was literally a better name than whatever the fuck this is. But my comments are they changed the voice actor. Blitzcrank has a voice actor for the League of Legends game, and they changed him. He was like quite an iconic voice actor. I'm kind of disappointed that they like Blitzcrank in League of Legends is more like ha ha a rolling golem nether gathers rust ha 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 ha. Like he has a very like old school like roboty voice acting, but he's more like, you are trash, I am taking out the trash. Like he's like a 2XKO voiceover now, and I guess the idea was they wanted to give him more personality because it's a character fighter, right? They want people to pick a character and go, oh, this character's cool, I want to use their moves, right?
I'm sure people was cool in League of Legends, like that's characters as well.
I don't know, like when I played the 2XKO beta, I was like, I want to play Yasuo because Yasuo is this cool guy with a sword. I want to play like Brom because he's this huge guy with like a shield and he loves poros, right? And I like Blitzcrank as a character, but I don't feel like they needed to like completely change his VO
that's
for
what
that.
I feel.
But
I'm sure the old original idea is what people kind of wanted.
Yeah, I'm cautiously keeping an eye on Riot Games as fighting game because honestly,
they visually looks stunning.
They kind of cooked with,
they
kind of cooked with Valorant.
Yeah,
like I think that genuinely did look like a good game. And they have done it outside of League, like so potentially they could bring more. It would be because I don't know. I don't think I've talked about this, Tony. They're adding WASD to League of Legends. They've announced recently, which I think is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm not very fan of the clicking to move sort of thing. Like even like
so that's like because
fucks me up.
League of Legends comes from the Dota mod, which comes from Warcraft 3, which comes from
Yeah.
RTS. So League of Legends is
You
set up like
click.
an RTS now, so you click to move,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But we've seen like more games try to modernize themselves for more modern audiences, right? Like for example, Diablo has added like controller support, and I think they added WSD support as well. Like they've added this to stuff like I think
Uh,
Path of Exile 2 added WSD support instead of clicking to
I was
move.
genuinely like the other week like looking at mods for Baldur's Gate 3 and there's a big one like released somewhat recently for like proper WSD support.
Yeah, so I
It's very
know on
cool.
Baldur's Gate 3 you can do essentially like free movement like WSD on but only if you have a controller plugged in and you can use
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
controller.
That's what they've done. They've co-opted the controller support and then like, but added some extra little bits and bobs and yeah. But yeah, it's basically controller way of movement.
But yeah, most people like younger people, most younger people are probably playing on a mobile to be honest, which is why Riot made Wild Rift, which is the mobile version of League of Legends, to try and appeal to a more
Okay.
general younger audience.
Right.
But a lot of people have been playing Valorant, and then they go, "Oh, okay, I'll try and play League of Legends," and then suddenly they're controlling what is essentially a 20, 30-year-old MOBA game or it's an RTS game, and they're like, "What the hell? This
Yeah,
doesn't
you're
control like
basically on a
anything."
single character. Yeah, a single
played
character
before.
RTS hero.
So the way it works, because like you have like free cam in like the RTS mode, because you're so used to like moving your mouse around and looking around all the maps.
Yeah.
What the WASD mode does is it basically focuses on your character and slightly moves around with you, sort of thing. I think if I played WSD mode, it would just make me feel like fucking sick because I would be so used to like the old clicking method.
I think expectation makes a huge deal, like what you're expecting to see. But yeah, I think someone new though wouldn't have that.
But I do think like because one of the hardest things to do in League of Legends is kiting on a ranged carry. Because if you think about it, this would be easier if I had Paint open.
This probably means absolutely nothing to you, but that's in StarCraft 2. There's like stalkers get upgraded to a good blink, and like you'd have to like to be able to. Normally, they do not win against Terran Marines, but with blink and a lot of micromanaging, you can like retreat and attack, turn around, attack, retreat, attack, and you can win. Like, it kind of sounds like that.
So Y is for you, E is enemy, right? If you look at my stream, it might be delayed, but the enemy's coming towards you, and you're a ranged character. You want your mouse to be clicking here because you want to be targeting your enemy, but you also need to run away. So you need to do this, this, and you need to constantly do this back and forth, and this is called kiting.
Yeah, that's how stalk. Yeah, that's how you have to play stalkers. It's just heavy micromanage.
How do you do this with WSD? You press S. That's how you kite on WSD. So like people were worried about this because it's going to like massively simplify advanced mechanics, right? But basically they're testing it in the PBE, which is like the beta version of League, and they're basically saying we're making it so it never gets to a point where playing WSD is the default mode you have to play, the better version you have to play on, right? But I think it'll be interesting to see whether like because I watch a lot of the reason I'm interested in League is because I still watch the esports. I really love the pro scene, and I think it's gonna be really interesting to see like how many when this fully comes out of beta, how many pros have the muscle memory and they stay on like kiting, or if we're gonna see like ADC players go to like WASD to get like the really easy kiting, for example.
I could see as well like how many players like normal players like this, and it's like that will like be like a big
like if I was still playing League and hadn't banned myself from playing the game for the past 10 years, I would probably try WSD because I think it would be interesting.
I think personally like it's one of those things is like it kind of reminds me of like a modern mode for Street Fighter 6. Like it kind of feels like that to me. Like I feel like it just should be like let's just have it and like just get used to it and have this shift. But genuinely, I was actually thinking about this. It's like if I could, even like in a normal RTS, I actually think a WSD mode that you could switch between like back and forth would be really cool. Yes, it'd make arguably like it'd make the skill ceiling lower technically, or it'd make it easier. Maybe I don't know, maybe technically lower, I suppose. But like I would love it just like if I could just use stalkers with the WSD mode, it'd actually be really cool. Then like switch out of it and like move around the map. So I think even this could actually be
like for example
potentially good for RTS.
Making modern mode in Street Fighter and the way you block and stuff has made stuff like Moment 37 in Street Fighter esports
Yeah,
like less possible, like almost impossible to pull off these days. Like the skill ceiling
yeah.
has been lowered,
But
but
there are
like
other things
I
instead,
would
I
have
would
never have
argue.
played Street Fighter if there wasn't a modern
Yeah.
mode, for example.
Yeah. And there's a huge influx of people playing it because of this. And I just think that I saw there are other stuff that could be like super. Oh wow, your strategy for this was really good, and like you managed to pull it off.
Mm.
So I think there's some stuff you can do. So but yeah, more controls, better, more easier ways to do like things that already exist. I actually think is like a really interesting thing you can look at in gaming in general. I think that's actually well, you could probably go back and
I
train
do
some.
like Blitzcrank's moves, but I love like he winds up a punch like a fucking cartoon character and then punches you.
Yeah,
I think that's good.
yeah,
And like the fucking
he looks
pile
great.
driver and
Yeah,
stuff. Oh,
I've,
his iconic grab. You gotta have that in
I've
there.
heard of Blitzcrank. I don't know if I ever knew what he looked like before, but he looks pretty cool. He reminds me of the
He's a
pirate
rolling
droids
golem.
from Ratchet and Clank. It's also the
Mm.
Trophy, the big mini boss.
He's literally like his tool in like League is he is the hook character basically. His entire
Right.
game
Okay.
plan is he has this robot arm, he sends it flying and he'll grab you and then he'll punch you and then he'll CC you. And he's the one of the most one-dimensional characters in like League. And you'll pick him for that exact reason. But
Right.
he's still
Right.
important for that aspect. But yeah, we got another announcement here or trailer. Yooka-Laylee actually has a fucking release date now. It's coming out on October 9th. So this is the upgraded version of Yooka-Laylee with I think it's an Unreal Engine 5 now. So it's got improved graphics, but they've also like done gameplay tweaks as well. And there's going to be a discount for original owners because I own the original Yooka-Laylee and I've never played it, but
Oh,
I've
really?
played
Okay.
Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, and I absolutely fucking adore that game. I think it's one of my favorite 3D it's one of my favorite platformers of all time, where it's like this 2.5D Donkey Kong Country style game.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they can like, because I've heard mixed things about, because I love 3D collectathons. And the original ukulele is like a straight up 3D collectathon, like Banjo Kazooie style, right? By some X-Rare guys. And
Yeah.
I've heard it has like a lot of rough edges and people didn't like a lot of stuff. So if they can actually like cook some quality of life stuff, it seems like they've like fully redesigned some bosses and stuff like that, right? I'm thinking about like buying this, like the upgraded version with my discount and then
Yeah.
just playing this version.
Yeah. Also, like, I think graphically, like, I guess it's good, but it's like I feel like it had a good style already, so it didn't it hasn't mattered much to me. I think I'm more interested in like what changes they made to gameplay,
But yeah, that'll be coming out
even
next
if it is
month.
small.
For
Okay.
that. So let's move on to releases. Tony, we have the new Gears of War remaster came out, Gears of War Reloaded. This is the new game from the Coalition, who've remastered this for PC, and it's got mixed reviews. What are people saying? Imagine being tricked into buying something for split screen, as the series has always had it and was advertised as having it here, to be changed last second to prevent a worse review bombing. Do your job and add it in as it was supposed to be there. Don't ask for pre-orders. Refunded or removed local co-op, which is advertised for PC as well as console. Definitely enjoyed playing the campaign with my friend, but we both agree that we wish the other two games had been included as a bundle. Not a fan of how many there are really grindy multiplayer achievements. Not a huge Gears fanboy, but I expected more from this. Online services are terrible. Story gameplay. Hope E-Day isn't this awful. Let's read some positive ones. Gears is still worth playing. This is now the second remake remaster of the original. The campaign is a timeless classic and the multiplayer is fun. However, we really do need 2 and 3. What about, is there like any because I played the first Gears of War 1 remaster on Games Pass, which was the Windows 10 edition, and there was some like
yeah.
big, like I played through the campaign with a friend and I thought it kind of felt like a game of its time, maybe like a 6 or a 7 out of 10 game, right? Where it's just like, it's fine,
Yeah.
but like the weird like sprint crouching the cover based shooting and the weird sprint crouching camera stuff, it's a okay co-op shooter to play with a friend, right? But for the most part, it hasn't aged as well as I thought it would, in my opinion.
Yeah, I see some people like talk about it, like, they still like it. I just
Maybe
don't
they
see
do.
it personally, but I'm never a massive Gears fan, so maybe that plays into it.
Like I remember liking the first game, and I liked playing through it with a friend. But there was a huge problem with the PC version where like the physics were broken above like
Yeah,
60 FPS and stuff
the
like
Bethesda
that.
problem.
Oh yeah, everything's broken in a Bethesda game. What do you mean?
To be fair with Bethesda, it's worse. Like it's not exactly 60. It's just completely wrong.
Do you remember
Maybe
like
it's not
when?
exactly 30. I can't remember.
Do you remember when Fallout? What's the Appalachia one called? The multiplayer one.
76.
When Fallout 76 came out, and you could
Yeah, I remember the absolute
basically
messed up.
people would look at the ceiling, like the sky, they would get like 200 FPS, and they could just sprint
Yeah.
across the map.
And the physics would increase. Yeah.
That was so funny. 30 FPS cutscenes, texture popping. The chunker takes its sweet ass time to boot up. No split screen.
Yeah,
I've seen no crashes, nothing
not-
game breaking, only terribly occasion glitchy stuff.
I mean, not at the point where we could AI both frame rate and like I don't know
What,
what
like
maybe the upscale resolution of the
you
cutscenes.
can interpolate videos to higher frame rates, but as somebody who always looks up anime OPs on YouTube and seeing people awfully interpolating 30 like 22 or like what is it 24 like 20ish FPS animation into 60 FPS container, and then turn it and then upscaling that to 4K. I'm like, this looks awful. Just give me the original fucking OP. I don't want this garbage.
Sure. Maybe they tried it and it was bad, maybe. But I just feel like surely there's a way to do it in a good way. Like I assume there's some art to it to make it not suck. I don't know. I just feel like there must be a way.
Yeah, this came out on the
26th
of October. We have another Unreal Engine 5 game. Tell me, we've got Metal Gear Solid Triangle, Snake Eater. This is the remaster of Metal Gear Solid 3.
How you pronounce this? What you meant to say?
Triangle. That's the name of the game. As someone who's played one Metal Gear game, I have the authority to say it's Metal Gear Solid Triangle.
The only thing it's similar to it's like a Greek like delta. It's like, is it meant to
I think it is actually supposed to be Delta.
Like capital Delta.
Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, I think is the actual way to say it.
Okay. But
although
even then, I think it looks much more like a triangle than a delta.
Here they say it's a remake of the 2004 game Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. So they're not talking about the triangle or the delta.
I mean, Delta is the third like Greek. That's Alpha Beta. No, it's Gamma then Delta.
I've heard people. Basically, what I've heard, I think I've seen the Digital Foundry video on this, and what I've heard, like it's pretty good, but it's way too heavy for what it is giving you. Like it's hard to get a stable 60 FPS on
not optimized, not.
No, but it's because like people are noticing like, hey, you get massively improved performance if you disable Lumen, and it's like, yeah. But then that disables all the lighting in the game, and it's just it's just like
no.
Basically, Nanite and Lumen and Nanite give you like pretty good results, right? But they're super heavy. On like mid-range systems.
I would,
and it's actually better to implement your own like lightweight ray tracing if you really wanted to go down.
I feel like if you want to base your thing on it, like at least have a fallback when you don't have it. Is my opinion on that. And if you don't, I think that's just bad programming at that point.
And
see it any other way.
The maximum frame rate of this game is capped at 60. You can't go any higher than that. And I'm sure there's a mod that fixes this already because there's usually a mod for the PC version. But that seems kind of insane that you can have like a 5090 and a 9800 X3D, and it's like 60 FPS. Because you could definitely hit like an
option to max the frame rate. Like just keep that as default. Like default max frame rate 60, and then you can change it. Like surely, or cap it. No cap.
No cap. But yeah, it seems like it's a fine. Like most modern systems, you can turn this optimized settings on. You can get towards that 60 FPS cap. But it's kind of just way too heavy for what it is. It's fine.
Can my 2080 do that though? That's my question.
What resolution are you playing at on your 2080?
That's been my problem. Is like I've been trying to aim for 2K, and it's like no, you can't do that. Go to 1K and just accept the.
Because if you're like, can my 2080 do this at 4K? I would be like, good luck.
No, I'm not gonna try 4K. No, I'm
My
starting to feel my age on my graphics card, so
Yeah, because I have more of a modern graphics card. I say
yeah.
more of it. I mean, it's pretty much the current process node, but not giga juiced over 4080. So it's just
It's the previous. It's previous gen, like 4080.
yeah, I have a 4080,
Currently 50 series, yeah.
and I think the 5080 is like by default 10% faster than the 4080. So
Oh
it's
yeah, there was
not
not
much
much
of
of
a
it.
bump because it's the
It was
same.
an improvement.
They're still
Yeah,
on the
you're
same
right.
process node. They haven't moved to
Yeah,
3 nanometer yet.
yeah. And they didn't.
Um,
They put more focus on AI stuff instead of gaming stuff. Yeah.
So what I do most of the time is like DLSS performance mode to remember AI upscaling, garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
Performance mode 4K is the 1080p input, which is much higher than most DLSS modes. So 1080p DLSS to 4K actually looks very good in my opinion. You
Okay.
might see some shimmering in motion or stuff like that, but like you get a huge performance win. So I've been playing like 4K performance and then turn my settings to high, and I just find like that gives
Yeah.
me usually like a high frame rate 4K experience on most games.
Okay. Okay.
But that's for me.
Wait,
And
is that
I have a
upscaling from 1080 then?
yeah. So performance mode 4K is an internal res of 1080p.
Yeah. It's 4x
Yeah.
yeah, scale.
Ultra performance is 720, which still kind of actually looks okay depending on the game. Like you could go down,
Yeah,
especially if you're
sometimes
using
it
the
makes things
DLSS
off.
4 version of Ultra
Yeah.
Performance. If you want
Yeah.
to. I mean, quality mode I would recommend always to turn on at 4K because you're just getting you're getting better anti-aliasing with the same image quality.
Yeah. You could get better temporal anti-aliasing.
Should we talk about this game that came out on the 4th September, Hollow Knight Silk Song?
Yes.
This has been the meme
I've seen a lot
game
about it.
of every
Yeah.
single gaming conference we've been watching since the past couple of years. It's just been like, will there be a trailer that announces the release date of Hollow Knight Silksong? And I can announce it is out now. And it seems like people are enjoying this game. When this game launched, Tony, it crashed every single shop it was on. I'm talking Steam, I'm talking GOG, I'm talking PlayStation, Microsoft, the Nintendo eShop. Everything was crashing trying to serve people
insane.
playing this. The game released.
You said that the indie GTA 6?
Yeah, this is the end. Even GTA 6 moved out the way of the Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Yeah, that's true.
He went to next
That's
year. Yeah, basically no one has been brave enough to release on the same day as Hollow Knight Silksong. Oh, just a note, Tony. You know how I said like previously, if you get enough reviews, they start doing the overall reviews in your language?
Yes. Yeah.
Hollow Knight Silksong has a very positive 92% in English of 37,000 reviews. If you were on the Chinese version of Hollow Knight Silksong, it is actually has a mixed review because the Chinese translation for Hollow Knight Silksong is really bad at the moment. Like Team Cherry has put out an apology saying that the apologizing for the quality of the Chinese translation of Hollow Knight Silksong, and then it's going to be fixed. But this just goes to show you, like, this score could be a much lower for an issue that's only really affecting the Chinese players of this game, which I think is an interesting, is showing like an obvious use case for this language-based review system.
Yeah. Oh, that's so 38% in the Chinese language reviews. Okay. Yeah, it looks like interestingly, you know, was it last time we were talking about this?
Yeah.
I seem to have a setting on with like all languages on. Like it's actually by default showing me the overall. Like it's not like limiting it to English, and so it says like because your preference you've got see all language. Right. So, okay. And so, and you were seeing all reviews of all languages. So I must have a setting turned on, which I assume is not the default setting.
But yeah, French, Korean, Spanish, Russian, Portuguese, Spanish. They're Japanese. Oh, of course, Tony. The Japanese reviews are much lower.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's a smaller sample size.
Being able to
'cause
just
they only
open
have
this up and
200.
scroll down, open this up is really good. I quite like that.
The people of
So
Ukraine
even
alone in
with the
this game,
Chinese stuff,
God
it's still
bless them.
76 though, which is insane.
But yeah, one thing I found really interesting, Tony, is that the price of this game is insanely good. It is six.
Yeah.
This is probably the most hyped game of the year. Team Cherry could have probably charged whatever the fuck they wanted for this game, and it would have
Yeah,
sold like
yeah.
hotcakes. And they said, no, this game is going to cost $20, €20, and we'll even give it regional pricing in the UK. It's going to cost £16. And I'm like,
What I
holy
find
shit,
crazy,
why don't I buy this game right now? It is so cheap.
even the soundtrack bundle is like, why don't I just buy that? I don't even know if it's good music or not.
Like,
It's just, yeah, that's incredible.
we've seen, but this has caused some controversy. So, like, we've seen some complaints from indie devs now saying Hollow Knight Silksong is creating unrealistic expectations from other indie devs about the price of games. Like, they're saying, I can't afford to charge, £16 for my game because I would go broke, sort of thing.
Yeah. But okay, I have a question though.
Yeah.
Are people potential customers explicitly requesting this, or is this you feel pressure from a quote unquote competitor / another seller in the market, and you feel like you have to? Because I would argue just ignore it. There's always going to be
I think the reason that the Hollow Knight Silksong like Team Cherry guys put the price they did was because they're basically like, we live in times where like games are getting fucking expensive and they know it's going to sell and they just want people to play the game. So they're just like, hey, here's a reasonable price that'll pay for our development costs.
I know that we're more in tune with games and that the average person isn't, but like I'm not personally expecting, because of this really good like value to cost to value sort of thing is really good. I'm not expecting all indie games to suddenly be that. I think that's ridiculous.
But like we've like from consumer side, it's pretty good because it's like, hey, I can just buy.
Yeah.
We've seen people who've been like online who normally would be like, I'm gonna pirate games, saying, hey, I can't even pirate Hollow Knight Silksong. It's too cheap. I just got to buy it instead.
Yeah.
Or like people are complaining the game is too cheap because they want to support the devs more, which I find kind of funny. Man, the movement in this game.
I mean, it's got at least on 100,000.
The reason I haven't bought this yet is because I own the first game and I still haven't played it. Because every time somebody's like, "Hey, you should play this 7 out of 10 game," I'm like, "Hey, I fucking love Metroidvanias and I still haven't played Hollow Knight." And I've been saying that forever, and I still haven't played Hollow Knight, but I do want to play it because this is like so up my alley outside of the hype cycle. Like, I will play, like, even if this, is a 5-year-old game, I'm still like, Hollow Knight is probably like a 5-year-old game at that point. I'm still excited to play that game. I just have the biggest backlog. Sorry, Hollow Knight is a 8-year-old game. It came out in 2017. Holy.
Oh, really? Blimey.
Yeah.
That's insane.
What was I going to say? But yeah, I genuinely think this game looks really cool, and I'm excited to play the first game and then play this game at some point. I don't feel the hype to play it right now. I mean, like, Tony, I think it's very telling that this game is a day one Game Pass game, and it's already, but it has over 500,000 people just on Steam. Like,
people
today, 500,000 people
bothered reviewing
playing it, and like 500,000 people playing it right now. People are. This came out 3 days ago, and people are playing it like crazy. But yeah. But would a game dare to release on the same day as Hollow Knight Silksong? Would everybody's golf hot shots dare like a new golf game where you can play as our boy Pac-Man? Does Pac-Man have a gender? I guess because there's Miss Pac-Man, right? So, and that's Pac-Man's wife.
I could, if you told me no, I'd also believe you. So, yeah.
But yeah, let's see what people are saying about Hot Shots Golf. Because this was a PS1 game remastered for like a more modern systems. But it seems to have mixed reviews on Steam. Oh, here AI-generated content disclosure. Details of tree and leaf textures in the golf course were created using AI-generated images. Interesting. Runs badly on Steam Deck. It doesn't play well at all. Timing perfect shots is nearly impossible, and the game looks like an iPhone game from 2016. They really should be given the series back from a proper new game because this clap hands, they pretty much spits in the face of the classic PS1, PS2. A fractional miss on spin/side is so punitive and there is no reason to ever use it. Let me know when it's fixed. This review stays negative till then. Graphically, a recession. Aiming is clunky. Characters never shut up. Measurements are terribly off. I will edit this as needed. Seems like some people are liking it. I was blown away by the number of negative reviews. People are kicking off online because the change from clap hands to Bandai Namco must mean the game would be terrible. That said, yes, it needs some improvements. Some CPU teammates are frustrating to play with. The graphics are fine. On PC, I had 0 freezers for me. After trying EA's PGA Golf and hating it and looking for a simple 3-button shoot arcade-style golf game, this is brilliant. Yeah, I also played the PGA games, and I thought they were okay. They're not really for me. I like more arcadey golfs, and this is sort of in between those like PGA games and like those arcadey like golf with your friends sort of games.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to see. Golf with Your Friends got like a fucking update recently. They showed off like a new map, I think. I don't know if we actually have a release date on Golf with Your Friends 2 yet. It's coming out next year at some point.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, also, someone else dared to release on the same day as Hollow Knight Silksong Tony. The new Indiana Jones and the Great Circle DLC came out on that day. And
Okay.
I'm really confused because it listed as coming out on the day Indiana Jones released because I think it was part of the deluxe edition. So it says it came out at the same time as that, but it actually came out on the fucking 4th of September, right? But this has got mixed reviews. So this game costs more than Hollow Knight Silksong, which obviously going forward people are going to really compare it to. And people are saying it's not very long. It's £18 to buy the DLC.
I think comparing to AAA developers is perfectly fine, by the way. I think expecting indie developers to like match it, but
it took me about 3 hours to finish the story and have maybe an hour left for the rest of the collectibles. Most of the DLC takes place in a sewer, so you can say it's a mandatory sewer level. Shout out to Civi11, the boomer shooter YouTuber. He's always talking about sewer levels. Yeah. I don't know if you know the joke, but every boomer shooter has a sewer level, right?
Yeah, I think every old game has a sewer level because they know what sort of biome to put into their game.
But I think the main complaint is it's a bit overpriced for the length. 3 major puzzles, a few minor ones, no real dialogue, just a research montage. This doesn't make me want to like get Game Pass again just to play this, or potentially spend a bunch of money to play this sort of thing.
Is this DLC on Game Pass though? I thought some games didn't have the DLC attached to it.
Let me check.
I thought that was the thing they were trying to get you to like get Game Pass and buy games. Although I would expect like stellar DLCs if that was the strategy, but here we are.
If you want any kind of premium version of Indiana Jones, you can put the DLC next chart. The Game Pass members also get a slight discount on the standalone version.
Right.
Okay, it seems like you still have to buy the DLC.
So, okay, hang on. Can you
Nice surprise, eh?
And only buy the DLC and play it, and then obviously Game Pass goes, you have the DLC but not the game? Or do you have to buy the base game?
I think you'll have to buy the base game to play the DLC. Which is why I'm like always wary of DLC stuff on Games Pass.
Yeah.
Because I played through the entirety of Persona 3 Reloaded, and then the DLC came out, and I'm like, man, I don't want to buy DLC when I don't even own the game. I might as well just buy it on Steam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
And then we have...
I mean, luckily, most DLCs aren't as good as the base game, but if you want to continue, that sucks.
Oh, I just remembered. When I initially went on a rant about Rent a Girlfriend to you after going insane for 48 hours, I compared the main
Yeah.
character of Rent a Girlfriend to Millhouse from The Simpsons.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That famous
Yeah, yeah,
Millhouse
yeah.
quote where Lisa doesn't want him to have a girlfriend, but she doesn't want to be
Yeah.
with him, and he's like, "I can't be happy with you, and I can't be happy without you. How unhappy do I have to be for you to be happy?" And I'm like, "This is describing Kazuya from fucking Rent a Girlfriend."
Yeah.
But yeah, Kronos: The New Dawn came out. This is the new Bloober Team game, which is the weird like survival horror sci-fi game from the guys who did like The Medium and the Silent Hill 2 remake. And it's essentially like you have to shoot these like corpses of enemies, and if you don't set them on fire, all the corpses of enemies will come together to merge like new enemies. And I'm like, that sounds metal
Oh,
as
that's cool.
fuck.
Yeah,
But you have like
that's what I want for my next one too.
you have like limited
Creativity.
resources of what stuff you can set on fire, right? So it makes it like this weird, like interesting survival horror stuff. And I was like, that sounds really cool. Let's have a look. It's got very positive reviews in all languages, I think this is. Yeah. It's a good game, but not what I expected. It's the true definition of a hardcore survival horror game. The lack of resources is a little extreme, to be honest. In fact, there is no dodge mechanic as annoying as heck. You give 0 ammo, but don't let me dodge attacks. If you're a true fan of games like this, then yes, play this game. If you're a casual fan of this genre and play Silent Hill or Resident Evil on easy mode, then no, this is not the game for you. Keep it up, Bloober, and add a dodge mechanic, please. Okay.
Man, yeah, I like the helmet actually. That's a side point. That's a really cool helmet.
This game has great ideas that refuses to explore more on a surface level. It's terrible, just so very mediocre and by the numbers. You walk around reading a stack of notes and audio logs. This game draws heavy inspiration from action-focused survival horror games like Dead Space and Resident Evil 4. It, however, doesn't include fun or useful quality of life features like quick turning or a map. There's no separate inventory for quest items. There were multiple times where I had to backtrack to a safe room to store items. So it seems like it's more like hardcore survival game inspired by stuff like Dead Space.
Someone says it has stutters for some stuttering.
Yeah, and I heard that there was like, I actually saw the Nintendo Life video on this for the Switch version, and the Switch 2 version has like a massive stutter when you set people on fire. It's an Unreal Engine 5 game. I feel like Unreal Engine 5 just has this fucking thing now where people are like, it's just going to be a stutter game at this point, right?
It just sucks so much. I just wish that'd be solved at this point. Like, I know an upgrade also means the developers have to integrate it into their game, but like at least a something.
Yeah. But yeah, it seems pretty interesting. I'll probably give it a check at some point. Maybe I'll play it on easier difficulty if that's possible. Because I played like Signalis, and I found that was a bit too hard for me until I turned like the settings down. So maybe there is like a more casual mode they could add later if there isn't one.
Usually really tempted, like when spooky season comes, I think I might look into this again. I think it's a really cool
yeah, Halloween's coming
concept
up next month, right? I need to start thinking about what spooky games I'm going to be playing. Is there any spooky Nintendo games I own that I could play on my Switch too?
Is there a Boo's Castle Nintendo game?
The Luigi's Mansion actually, but I don't own that.
That's true. That is true.
Maybe I'll get Luigi's Mansion.
I think Nintendo going to be brave enough to release a Boo-centered game. That's my question.
I think it would be interesting if they did some Halloween. I think soon is actually like the 30th or 40th anniversary of Super Mario Bros. So there's probably going to be a direct about some new Mario games.
Yeah.
When is the anniversary of Mario? September 13th. So next week is the next Saturday is the anniversary, is the 40th year anniversary of the original Super Mario Bros. So I'm guessing there's going to be a direct then to announce a bunch of stuff that's coming out on the Switch 2. So potentially that would be when they would announce a spooky game, if there was going to be like a Luigi's Mansion 4 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting. Yeah, I think that's the end, Tony. That is everything we've got to talk about.
Spooky end. An unexpected spooky end.
Yeah, we'll probably be talking about more spooky games as I play them over October in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Hopefully I will play a PC game again that's not Overwatch 2, because I'm pretty much just addicted to my Switch 2. Maybe I can force
Yeah.
myself to play Smash Bros. Then I could play another fighting game. Another
Yeah. Oh
other,
yeah.
other than the one fighting game I've played this year for Year of the Fighting Games.
You need to find a spooky fighting game, I think. I don't know. I'm hyped for spooky season. More so
Yeah.
than last year actually. I think I'm gonna
Go hard.
play some stuff for that. But yeah,
It's a good excuse to try out games you got in your backlog, right?
yeah.
Found some stuff I really
I've got quite a
enjoyed.
few.
So
I've been. Yeah, I mean, I've always liked the look of horror games, so I've got quite a few.
But yeah, you can check us out, youtube.com at Everything In Between Podcast, twitch.tv/Scorn if you want to watch live, and shows.cast.com/everything-in-between-podcast. There'll be links to the audio-only version and Spotify and Apple Podcasts, wherever you want to listen to your stuff. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.